Tonight, Hamas releases 2 American hostages abducted during that deadly assault.
Every single one of them should be released.
Where it leaves some 200 more held captive inside Gaza, where conditions are desperate, humanitarian aid still blocked.
No water, no food, no medicine.
And we break down the images you're seeing from the war, how we verify what's real. Congress paralyzed, Republicans now deeply divided.
I think this was truly swamp tactics on display.
Crucial funding stalled with no clear path forward.
Sinclair!
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 Christine Sinclair says it's time to retire from Team Canada.
Honestly, you can't play forever.
How she's changed the game.
This is The National with Ian Hanamansi.
For the first time since the war began, Hamas has released hostages abducted from Israel in that brutal assault 2 weeks ago. The pair are American, a mother and daughter from Illinois, now free after 14 days in captivity. More than 200 people are believed to have been taken to Gaza. This development prompting pressure from families to delay Israel's promised ground offensive, despite days of amassing troops and weapons along the border. Margaret Evans is in Jerusalem for us tonight with more on why Hamas may have made this decision and how Israel is responding. And a warning, some of the images are disturbing.
Mother and daughter back in Israel and under the protection of the Israeli Defense Forces, initially released by Hamas into the custody of the Red Cross. The video was shot by Hamas. Judith and Natalie Raanan, both American, were visiting family on the Nahal Oz kibbutz near Gaza when Hamas militants seized them. A Hamas spokesman said on social media that they'd been released for humanitarian reasons and with the help of the Qatari government. The U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken confirmed the release in Washington.
I can't speak publicly about the details of these efforts. I know you understand that. But the urgent work to free every single American, to free all other hostages, continues.
The news will offer at least a sliver of hope to the families of 201 other hostages believed to be held by Hamas in Gaza. In Tel Aviv, they set a long Shabbat table with a place for each of them, milk bottles set for the youngest. Yarden Gonan's 23-year-old sister Romy was taken in the chaos of the militants' frenzied attack on a music festival.
We believe in them, that they are strong and they can make it.
This former Israeli intelligence officer says Hamas' motivation for the release is clear.
They understand that Israel's resolve in entering the Gaza Strip and eradicating the Hamas is strong, and they would like to slow it or stop it as long as they can. And this is the first time that Hamas in its history has done a deal without getting anything for it.
There is no sign that Israel plans to ease its punishing bombardment of the Gaza Strip. The Red Cross using the spotlight on the hostages to plead for an end to the carnage.
We also urgently call for a pause in the fighting in Gaza, where the situation is nothing short of desperate.
The Palestinian Red Crescent in Gaza says they've been warned by Israel to evacuate the Al-Quds hospital in northern Gaza, sheltering thousands of displaced people and some 400 patients. There was disappointment as 20 aid trucks expected to cross into Gaza on Friday did not, despite the pleas of the UN Secretary General.
These trucks are not just trucks. They are a lifeline. They are the difference between life and death for so many people in Gaza.
So, Margaret, there's clearly growing desperation in Gaza. Is there any new hope for a resolution?
Well, Ian, the Israelis certainly say they're not going to stop until they have destroyed Hamas. And in the meantime, the number of dead in Gaza is so high that people are being buried in mass graves. Egypt has convened what it's calling a peace summit over the weekend. It's invited the King Abdullah of Jordan, the Palestinian president, Mahmoud Abbas, the King of Bahrain. Some European countries are sending representatives, even prime ministers, and the South African president, Cyril Ramaphosa, is even coming. But I have to say that the mood is a little bit dark. They'll be looking for some kind of diplomatic opening in the wake of this hostage release, but that's not what we're getting from the Israelis.
Margaret Evans in Jerusalem again tonight. Thank you. Here in Canada, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is facing pressure from within his own party to push for a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. And as Rafi Boudjikanian shows us, some voters are also demanding to be heard.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau confronted at a Toronto mosque.
How many more Palestinian children need to be slaughtered? How many more before you call for a ceasefire?
A similar call from some of his own Liberal MPs. 33 parliamentarians, the majority of them from Trudeau's caucus, sending this letter to the Prime Minister. Canada has long been a voice for peace, it reads. We demand that Canada join the growing international call for an immediate ceasefire. Canada must act before more innocent children are killed.
I'm far from alone in this.
Liberal Samir Zuberi says he and some of his caucus colleagues are just reflecting what's on a lot of Canadians' minds.
We must respond and protect populations, but there are ways in which we have to do this, and that includes a very extreme high degree of caution to avoid civilian casualties.
Palestinian supporters have called for an end to hostilities for weeks, but some Jewish groups are defending Israel's actions.
At the end of the day, a country has a right to defend itself or it does not. Calling for an immediate ceasefire is stating that Israel does not have the right to defend itself.
Trudeau has insisted that is Israel's right, but on calls for a ceasefire earlier on Friday, he told reporters he knows there are varying opinions in the country and in his own caucus.
So yeah, there are lots of different perspectives, but there are shared fears and concerns amongst all parliamentarians.
Trudeau says Canada continues to work with its allies to make sure civilians are protected, but on this public call for action, his office has no response. Rafi Boudjikanian, CBC News, Ottawa.
The U.S. president has asked Congress for more than $14 billion in funding for Israel, part of a larger aid package that also includes Ukraine. But money can't flow until House Republicans choose a speaker. And as Katie Nicholson explains, attempts at that just keep failing.
Jim Jordan started the day with high hopes.
Thank you all for coming.
But it quickly went downhill as he lost a third vote for House Speaker.
Speaker has not been elected.
Still, he was game to make another run.
We're going to try.
But a secret ballot among his fellow Republicans put an end to that.
And so we put the question to them. They made a different decision.
One of the hardline congressman's biggest supporters and chief architect of the bid to oust the former House Speaker was quick to blame more establishment Republicans.
This was truly swamp tactics on display to knife someone that the American people wanted to speak. Who do you think?
While the man who 17 days ago lost the gavel lamented the chaos.
We are in a very bad position as a party.
Jordan's brief candidacy has only deepened the bitter divide within the GOP caucus. By Friday evening, more than half a dozen names echoing through these halls as possible nominees. The party's plan is to somehow land on one in a secret Tuesday vote who stands a chance to get the gavel. Hopes met with skepticism by some.
It's possible that just exhaustion will set in and the Republicans will agree on something, on one person. But, you know, there are also members who are enjoying this.
Democrats also benefiting politically from the GOP's inability to govern itself.
Welcome to month 10 of the House Republican majority's chaos, dysfunction, and extremism.
With no speaker, there's no path for the House to pass President Biden's $105 billion pledge for military and humanitarian aid for Israel, Gaza, and Ukraine, leaving allies in the lurch. The collateral damage of an internal House war. Katie Nicholson, CBC News, Toronto.
Donald Trump has been fined $5,000 for violating a gag order in his New York civil fraud trial. This comes after the judge threatened more serious penalties in the future, including possible imprisonment. That threat stemmed from a derogatory post about a court clerk. Earlier, it was removed from Trump's personal social media, but it remained on his campaign website. His lawyers have since apologized and said it was an accident. Another defendant in Georgia's election interference case has struck a plea deal with prosecutors. Lawyer Kenneth Chesbrough was an advisor to the Trump campaign. Today, he pleaded guilty to a felony count of conspiracy to commit filing false documents. He also agreed to testify in the case. Chesbrough faces probation, a $5,000 fine, and community service. Saskatchewan's controversial new school pronoun policy is now law. The government using the notwithstanding clause to shield the new rules from the Charter of Rights. As Sam Sampson explains, many are concerned about the potential impact on students.
This is where Ren Roberts first felt safe enough to change their name and pronouns.
I was able to try things out and really make sure that I was confident in myself before I told other people.
The 15-year-old trans student told teachers first and family later. That's no longer allowed under a new Saskatchewan law.
All those in favor say yay.
Yay! The Parents' Bill of Rights passed through the legislature Friday. It mandates school staff get parental permission before using a different name or gender expression for students under 16.
That's what this bill has, at its very core is about, is providing parents the right, not the opportunity, to support their child through the formative years of their life.
The Premier and others say the bill reflects what most parents want.
It shouldn't be up to the education system to make those more personal decisions. That is a matter for the home, and it should be discussed in the home.
Stay school safe! Opponents pushed back for weeks, saying the bill will harm trans students.
We'll see more kids with depression. We'll see more kids with school avoidance or refusal to go because school's not the safe place it was anymore.
Some mental health experts worry that could lead to an increased risk of suicide. In schools, social workers could also face ethical issues if they're forced to keep using a child's original name and pronouns, a practice called dead naming.
We consider dead naming and misusing pronouns as not respecting the inherent dignity of a child.
Grassroots queer community groups say they're here for struggling students.
We're here and we're standing with you, and we know.
The governing Saskatchewan party invoked the Charter's notwithstanding clause to guard the bill from any court challenges. They'll have to re-evaluate the clause's use in 5 years. Sam Sampson, CBC News, Regina.
Calls are growing in the Northwest Territories for a public inquiry into this summer's wildfire response. About 70% of the population was forced from their homes as huge fires burned. Now, as Juanita Taylor shows us, some forced to race from the flames, one answers.
There was a big explosion and I looked out. There's fire all across the hill.
Sandra Lester only had seconds to get out of her house before it caught on fire.
What was the warning like for you? There was no warning. We were told the fire was 60 kilometers from us, and we were trying to get ready to go, but nobody warned us.
Lester lived on the outskirts of the town of Hay River. She escaped to a nearby riverbed for safety because the fire blocked the only way out. Now she wants answers.
Somebody must have known because the RCMP were out here trying to knock on doors to tell us to get out, but they couldn't even get in. So somebody knew the fire was here.
I decided to launch a petition, and we've been hearing a lot of comments from people that there should be a public inquiry. It's an absolute miracle that there was no loss of human life.
Elena Katz got stranded on the highway, abandoning her truck during the Hay River evacuation.
We were trying to bring our farm animals, our alpacas and livestock dogs, to safety, and we lost them.
The territorial government says it is committed to an independent after-action review, looking at everything from preparedness to firefighting and the evacuation itself.
Really, everything's on the table. You want to learn absolutely everything you can after a season like the one that we had.
The wildfire also burned more than 90% of the hamlet of Enterprise. In August, Enterprise's mayor told us there were many gaps in communication the day his community was evacuated. He wants an inquiry too.
Step up. Quit talking and start doing. And if there's a mistake and heads need to roll, they should.
The territorial government says the independent after-action review will be released by March, right before the next fire season begins. Juanita Taylor, CBC News, Hay River, Northwest Territories.
Canada's premiers want Ottawa to delay the deadline for small businesses to pay back pandemic loans. The federal government offered interest-free loans up to $60,000, and $20,000 of that would be forgiven if the rest was repaid by a certain date. That date has already been pushed to mid-January, but the premiers want a year, citing high interest rates. Well, she's had more success in the world of soccer than any other Canadian, and now Christine Sinclair has announced she's retiring from international play. Belle Puri looks at Sinclair's impact on the game she loves.
To win it for Canada! Christine Sinclair has led a storied career.
I could have never imagined the career I've had. And I could have never imagined where this sport is now compared to where it was when I was, growing up or when I first joined the national team.
Christine Sinclair! In 23 years, Sinclair has played in 6 World Cups and 4 Olympic Games. 22 years in the making. When she led Canada to gold in Tokyo, it was a triumph on the world stage and in her hometown.
She just means so much to Burnaby and to Canada.
Christine Sinclair was always our favorite player because she was always scoring all the goals.
She just broke the record! Goal number 185 landed Sinclair in the history books. Since then, there have been 5 more for a total of 190 in 327 games. More goals than any player in international football, men's or women's.
She's the GOAT, always will be. I can't see another one going to surpass it.
Sinclair's legacy, though, is about much more than scoring. She's ignited a passion for women's soccer in Canada.
She's somebody that's paved the way for women's soccer in this country for so long, inspiring us to continue to push, a professional league and a pathway for the women's side.
Sinclair will leave Canada's team, but not the game. She'll continue to play professionally with the American Portland Thorns, and before the end of the year, she'll hit the Canadian pitch for a number of farewell games.
Honestly, you can't play forever, and this seems like a good time to be done.
Belle Puri, CBC News, Vancouver.
The war between Israel and Hamas is leading to some difficult conversations in classrooms here in Canada.
I felt like we had to kind of hide our perspectives, hide our religion, because we're getting kind of targeted.
Why some students are calling on schools to do more. Next. Plus, with images of the war playing out online, Adrian looks at how to separate fact from fiction.
Slow down your social media consumption and ask critical questions about what it is that you're looking at.
How the experts verify video. And later, Jane Goodall sits down with Matt Galloway.
We really are in very dark times.
Why she says it's not too late to change the world. We're back in 2. Dozens of pro-Palestinian demonstrators gathered outside a Jewish community center in Toronto, one of 4 rallies held in the city today. This one just down the street from Chrystia Freeland's office. Many there calling for a ceasefire. The tension surrounding the war is leading to some difficult conversations, not just on the streets, but in schools too. As Deanna Sumanag-Johnson shows, some students are calling on their schools to do more to lead the discussion.
Toronto teen Lior Marcus has many relatives in Israel. He says his family was rocked when Hamas militants attacked. But when the 16-year-old returned to school, no teachers or administrators were talking about it.
I was pretty shocked to walk into school and have absolutely no acknowledgement of it even happening at all.
Across the city, another 16-year-old who says he'd welcome any conversation in school, even an uncomfortable one. Yusuf Ahmed is Muslim. He says he's experienced Islamophobia at school before. Now he says he feels he can't voice concern for civilian deaths in Gaza.
I felt like we had to kind of hide our perspectives, hide our religion, because we're getting kind of targeted by other people.
The Toronto District School Board, which both teens attend, said in a statement it is focusing on the mental health and well-being of students and staff. School boards across the country are trying to figure out how to talk to students about the war in the Middle East. No easy task, and something that's on the Prime Minister's mind too.
Everyone is scared of what this means right now in terms of whether you can send your kids to school safely or whether you're going to be harassed.
Just outside of Toronto, the York Region District School Board has organized Zoom sessions with clinicians from the affected communities.
One of the things we want to ensure is that no person feels that they could become a victim by attending the session. So we have ensured that there's an anonymity in that you cannot see who's attending the sessions.
As for Yusuf Ahmed and Leor Marcus, they're writing an essay and an email to their school board. Young but determined to get across their feelings about a war far away that feels very personal. Deanna Sumanak-Johnson, CBC News, Toronto.
An Indigenous film festival in Toronto this weekend could be a big break for some young Canadian animators.
See that we could succeed in this big of a way was really wild.
Bringing Indigenous stories to the mainstream. Plus, as the conflict in the Middle East unfolds, how do we decipher which images are real and which aren't?
You can see the same shape of that solar panel right here.
Adrian speaks with CBC News visual verification team. And an iconic anthropologist weighs in on the huge challenges the world is facing.
So many people, they feel helpless, hopeless, so they do nothing.
Matt Galloway's interview with Jane Goodall. The National breaks down the story shaping our world. Next. Governor General Mary Simon being presented with the first copy of the 2023 national campaign. It's worn during the remembrance period to honor Canada's fallen. The money raised by the Legion helps support veterans and their families. You'll be able to purchase poppies starting next week. The largest Indigenous film festival in the world is on this week in Toronto. For the 30,000 people who will attend Imagine Native, every screening can be a window into a different culture or experience. And as Eli Glasner explains, for two young Canadian animators, it's also a break into a notoriously tough industry.
Growing up, Kaylee Lightning and her sister Kira loved cartoons like Sailor Moon and Adventure Time, but the Cree artists didn't see themselves in those worlds. Then they took a trip to an Indigenous film festival.
Going to Imaginative kind of, I think, was just that final push I needed to see that people like me were making these amazing things, and that I could too.
The Film and Media Arts Festival opened their eyes to a world of Indigenous films, animation, and interactive games.
We see a lot of interplay between genres and mediums, and that's kind of the nice thing with Indigenous creators. There's no boxes.
The sisters dove in, creating their own game, but there are a lot of barriers in animation. Only 3% of directors are female, while only 4% of animated features have lead roles for women of color.
This is the most dangerous part.
But a new program from HBO Max, Warner Brothers, and Imaginative is trying to change that with opportunities for underrepresented voices. When they got the news they were accepted.
Oh, huge. To just see that we could succeed in this big of a way was really wild.
Who's gonna teach us?
This is the result, an animated adventure where knowledge of the past is part of a fight for the future.
My cookum always said there are beings who can help us.
For the writer, it's a way to share her teachings.
This hopeful, spiritual worldview of like where nothing is ever really gone.
And a start in a new industry.
Yeah, it definitely opened up a whole world.
All these things that are so valuable to our cultures being more accessible to younger generations means that those kids are going to grow up more closer to their identity and who they are.
The Lightning Sisters film screens this Saturday in Toronto. Eli Glaster, CBC News, Toronto.
Now let's break down the news shaping our world. We'll hear from legendary anthropologist Jane Goodall and her hope for an Earth in crisis. But first, with shocking images of war, asking the right questions.
Who's sharing this video?
Have any of these shots been published before?
Finding the details hiding in plain sight.
You'll see that the tree has shrapnel marks on it.
The work of verifying facts in the online flood. The hospital blast in Gaza this week was captured on video and shared in real time, but not all of it was real. Adrian Arsenault went to CBC News video verifications team to reveal their approach.
So Yvonne and Rachel, thank you for being with us. You do the lion's share of verification of a lot of the video that comes your way. Before it goes on the air, it goes to you first. So I'm wondering if we could talk about the hospital and how you have been able to verify some of what you've seen, including this footage of something on fire that people initially said was a hospital. Oh. Yvonne, how did you know what it was and where?
Well, thanks to certain tools that are open source that everybody can use, we can determine whether something happened in a specific place and in a specific time. So for the exact video of the hospital, we basically gather all the footage that we can, and we start analyzing them. Every point in the world is specific due to all the buildings or features that around them are. So hospital has these
solar panels
that are used for energy, and you can see this like very specifically shaped solar panel above the building. It's
sort of tilted.
Yeah, it's on the angle, and when you compare that to satellite imagery, which is on Google Earth Pro, you can see the same shape of that solar panel right here, and you can see that it's kind of tilted, just like the one on the video. And when you compare all these other solar panels, you have one here, and you have a parking lot right here with some trees and buildings around. You can see the same kind of organization right here. And you can be pretty sure that whoever shot this video was actually in this building here.
Okay, so let's stop there for a second. It's a pretty dark video, but you brighten it as much as you physically can. So you saw the solar panels and stuff. Rachel, what else did you see in that video?
So the timing of when the video came out was really key for me. So I was seeing the news about the bombing, and then this video was popping up on different channels that I had been following that had been proving to be pretty reliable. So I was able to get in touch with one person in Israel who was able to tell me he found this from someone that he trusts, and he saw it pop up within a few minutes. So what I was doing was taking screen captures from the video and trying to run it through Google reverse image or TinEye to see, have any of these shots been published before the bombing? Because that would suggest that it would have been fake.
So I just want to play another video here. This was shot by Al Jazeera. This was a live stream. That appears to be a rocket heading into the sky. You saw this video. What did you do with it? We see one explosion, then another.
You can basically see the same structures. You can see the same solar panel here. You can see the panel here. You can just see it there, and you can see the tree that's right here. And this was the day after, so people were started filming what happened, the aftermath of the attack.
There's the tree. So this sort of verification only gets you so far. It only establishes, yes, this is the location of the hospital. This is the time it was taken. That is accurate. That is an accurate reflection of what it looked like on the ground. That picture's real, you can go with it. But that's when the journalism kicks in to try to interpret what is happening right there with that rocket in the sky. Is that connected to that explosion?
Exactly, and that's where we need the help of experts, military experts. I know we've been talking to some. We need that expertise to tell us what that trajectory looks like, but our verification can only go so far.
Verification has layers. This is layer 1. Layer 2 would be, how do you interpret what you see? Giancarlo Fiorella is a visual forensic researcher with the investigative group Bellingcat.
So what exactly are we looking at here?
So that is a montage from a video that was shared from the parking lot of the hospital the morning after the explosion. What we're able to see there is a crater from the munition that caused these fatalities and injuries at the hospital.
You say a crater. Were you able to determine if it was the only crater?
We haven't seen any other craters in any of the other videos that we've been able to find from this incident. And the damage that we see at the site is consistent with this being the only crater, the only explosion that took place here.
In terms of information analysis, what does the size of that crater, the nature of that crater suggest to you about the munition that created it?
Well, we conducted a preliminary analysis on this video and others that we found. And we got an expert comment from somebody who pointed out that the crater is not consistent with a larger munition type, what are called JDAMs. So those are the bombs that you would typically expect the Israeli military to use. Now, that doesn't in itself mean that this was not an Israeli munition. We're still in the process of verifying who was responsible for this, but the size of the crater is not the size that you would expect from a larger bomb.
Which is not to say that the Israelis don't have smaller munitions.
Exactly. We're trying to determine, not just using an analysis of the crater, but also other hints that we could pick up from open sources on the internet to try to determine conclusively what type of munition this was. And doing that could help to determine who was responsible for this. What we see there also is the damage that that area received. In that video, there's a tree, and you can see a branch of it in the screenshot there. And just a few frames after the screenshot, you'll see that the tree has shrapnel marks on it. So this tree is located some distance away from the crater. And based on the relationship between where the tree is located and the crater, we can draw a cone of shrapnel that this munition essentially sprayed when it exploded.
So there's obviously a lot more work to be done. What do you need as investigators to get your hands on or to see to make a determination in terms of who fired this and what it was that was fired?
So we've spent the whole day looking at every single video that we've been able to find from this incident. And we're looking specifically for anything that could be a munition remnant. That is a piece of this explosive device, this bomb, this rocket, that would have remained at the site after the explosion. And so we're looking for them because if we can determine that an image contains a munition remnant, we may be able to determine precisely what type of missile or bomb that came from, and that would help us to point the direction one way or the other as to who would have been the owner of that missile or that bomb.
For people who are watching at home, who are often curious and questioning about the validity of veracity of what it is they see, do you have any tips for them?
I would suggest that people really sort of slow down their consumption and take the time to ask critical questions. Who's sharing this video? Is this person a reliable source of information? What makes me think that? Do they work with a particular organization or not? So just slow down your social media consumption and ask critical questions about what it is that you're looking at.
We're still learning more from the video of that hospital blast and other incidents. The work of our colleagues verifying those images will continue to inform our journalism. Coming up, she spent a lifetime studying the natural world, and she has a message for the world right now.
If we carry on like this, we will be doomed, but we've got this window of time.
Matt Galloway's interview with Jane Goodall is next. Jane Goodall understands our link to nature, and she sees trouble.
We really are in very dark times.
At 89, she has few illusions.
Because we can be truly evil.
But the main message from the iconic anthropologist,
we must work together,
is one of passion and hope. CBC Radio's Matt Galloway sat down with Jane Goodall to talk about her belief that we can meet humanity's challenges.
The world feels like the axis has been tilted a little bit and the news isn't good. How are you doing right now, given everything that's happening around us in the world?
Well, we really are in very dark times. I've lived nearly 90 years on this planet, and I lived through World War II when Britain stood alone against the might of Nazi Germany, and there was no hope for us, and yet we managed.
Do you remember those days really vividly?
I remember very vividly towards the end of the war, when I was 10. I remember still with that same feeling of horror, learning about the Holocaust. And I remember climbing the same favorite tree where I read Tarzan and thinking about human evil, because we can be truly evil. You know, chimps go to war, chimps kill, but it's the passion of the moment. It's responding to an outside, like seeing a stranger from another community. But we can sit far away from conflict and in cold blood plan how to kill as many people as possible, how to torture people. And that's evil. But it is environmentally, politically, and socially really bad, bad times. And this latest Israel-Hamas war, that's terrible.
Let me ask you about the environmental issue. I mean, the summer that we have been through has been apocalyptic. You have towns burning down in Hawaii, you have wildfires and the smoke that spreads all over the world, the hottest temperatures on record in certain areas.
Flooding and hurricanes.
And it goes on and on and on. Yeah. Coming through that, what goes through your mind about the world around us in some ways?
Well, you know, as far as the environment goes, everyone is focused now on climate change. But, you know, just as important as climate change and inextricably linked to it is loss of biodiversity. And, you know, as habitats get destroyed and ecosystems collapse, that's doom for us if we don't do something about it.
Where do you put, not the blame in some ways, but where do you put the responsibility for that? Who do you pin that on?
Well, the responsibility, obviously, some of the big companies burning fossil fuel, the oil and gas, corruption, and unfortunately a lot of governments get corrupted by money, by big business. And so, but there's also all of us, each one of us, we could do our bit to protect the environment. And so many people, you know, they feel helpless, hopeless, so they do nothing, and they carry on with business as usual.
Do you understand that? Do you understand that sense of being overwhelmed? That people think this problem is intractable?
That is exactly what's happening. And that's why if our young people have that attitude, well, we're doomed because they are the future. The thing is that we've got to work with them to try and at least slow down climate change and loss of biodiversity.
Maybe you could help.
And I began our youth program, Roots and Shoots, way back in 1991. And it's growing really fast across Canada, which is wonderful. It's got young people from preschool through university, even adults now, and working with the Indigenous people who understand the land so well and have protected it until we come along and take it away from them.
What's most alarming to you about the biodiversity loss that we're seeing right now?
You know, the ecosystem is made up of this complex mix of plant and animal species, and you find that each one has a role to play. And so if you think of it as like a beautiful living tapestry, every time a species goes from that particular ecosystem, it's like pulling a thread from the tapestry. So if enough threads are pulled, the tapestry hangs in tatters, the ecosystem collapses. And if we carry on like this, we will be doomed, but we've got this window of time. And we have to get together.
You talk about hope a lot, and hope is an elusive thing for a lot of people right now. And I just wonder, when you hear people who might say that it's too late, that we've already passed this tipping point, what do you say to them? Do you understand where they're coming from?
Yes, well, a lot of scientists are saying that. And David Suzuki said that to me. He said it's too late. And I'm not alone among scientists to believe there's this window of time when we can at least slow it down, start slowing it down, start saving the forests, and there is a much greater awareness. So I try and convince them by telling stories about, I've seen places totally destroyed, like Sudbury. And, that's one of the stories in the latest IMAX film.
That it's a mining town that was a moonscape, and that you're there helping people to plant trees and
right.
regrow a forest.
I always give my tree a little kiss, because I want to give the tree energy, and I want the energy from the tree. So they began that, about 30 years ago, and everybody said it's impossible, you never clean up the rivers and the lakes, fish will never live here again. And lo and behold, it's a lush green place, loons on the lakes, and fish coming back.
Do you put much hope in leaders, in elected representatives to figure out a way forward?
Well, you do get passionate people in government, but so often they're overruled. And, that's one big problem. You can have a president who really cares about the environment, puts lots of protections in place, and then the next president comes along and undoes them. I mean, that's what happened in the US.
Are you confident that we'll figure out how to work together? That we'll figure out how to not be selfish in some ways?
Well, so the good news, if we look at it as this tunnel of problems that we have to overcome, the good news, there's groups of people working on every problem. But the trouble is they're working in silos. And if they're working without thinking of the whole picture, in other words, collaboration, we must work together. And young people are good at that.
You said that in some ways it feels like you're put on this planet to do this job. And I just wonder at the end of our conversation, you're 89 years old. How do you find the energy and the drive in the midst of everything that we were talking about to still be out there, giving people hope in the face of
hopelessness?
It is news, yeah.
Well, first of all, I'm driven because I care passionately about the environment, the forest, the animals. While I was in Sudbury, I was invited to plant the 10 millionth tree. I care passionately about children. I've got 3 grandchildren. They're grown now, but they're presumably, 2 of them anyway, will probably have children. And what a world to be born into. Well, it means that I'm not ever going to give up.
The film she was referring to is called Jane Goodall, Reasons for Hope, released this spring. It highlights Sudbury, Ontario's re-greening program. Coming up, a furry burglar with a taste for Italian cuisine.
When I got home, I called the cops, and they almost didn't believe me.
The bear, the break-in, and the lasagna that was just right. It's next in our moment. A homeowner in Connecticut was in for quite a shock last week when she checked her security camera and saw this bear going through her freezer. When the bear got what it wanted, it ambled off with its ill-gotten gains. What was on the menu? Deep dish, deep freeze, pasta. The lasagna-loving thief is our moment.
I got a message on my phone saying that somebody was in my kitchen. I went on my camera to check, and there was a bear in my kitchen. He just walks over to the freezer like he's done it a million times, pulls the drawers open, and pulls a frozen lasagna out of the freezer and goes away. So my mother's lasagna is by far the best lasagna I've ever had. We started selling at our restaurant, to go, and I think that it's so good that even, the bears heard about it and they just had to break in and take some as well. When I got home, I called the cops and they almost didn't believe me. We definitely have a bear problem because the same bear that was here last Wednesday, she was back going to the same window to do the exact same thing just a couple of days later. There were so many things in that freezer, he could have taken anything, and he went straight for the lasagna that I really wanted. It was like he purposely walked in the house to get the frozen lasagna from our restaurant.
So a few things come to mind. First of all, they do lock the doors. Now they're going to start locking the windows. That's the first thing. Second thing is, as smart as the bear is, I wonder how it's going to feel about the aluminum foil that the pasta comes in. I don't know if we'll get an update on that. And, you know, this is Connecticut, but there have been a lot of bear sightings in Canada, BC, a record number in August. And we actually have a national crew out in the field right now doing a less whimsical story about bears that will be on the National soon. That is the program for October 20th. Join me Sunday for Cross Country Checkup on CBC Radio and CBC News Network, and later that night right here for the National. Have a great Saturday.